Hey guys, how are you? I've got a pretty interesting one to talk to you about today. I find it quite bizarre anyway, so we'll see what you think. Do you ever get or hear of anyone, say you send something out, you send a new idea, some sort of new idea, some creative new idea, you trial it and you get a couple of people respond to say they didn't like it, they weren't happy, it annoyed them. So you figure, well, that mustn't work. But in reality, say you sent something out to someone, to your marketplace, and there's 5,000 people in 5,000 houses, and 3 people called to complain, say it wasn't very good, that they didn't like it. How do you respond to that? Do you respond that that's no good, that obviously doesn't work, we're not doing the right thing, it's causing distaste in the community? Or do you see that more like, well, 4,997 people must have liked it? It reminds me of this really fun story. One of my favourite headlines ever was "Fisherman Culled by Flying Fillet." And what happened was, and the insurance company didn't believe it was true, and initially refused to pay out the insurance on this. So these fishermen, and I'm paraphrasing because I'm going from memory, and this was quite a while ago, I was just remembering it today. Fishermen, I think they were Japanese fishermen, were fishing off Korea, and all of a sudden their boat was sunk. This is probably the right way to say it. Their boat was sunk. And what happened was a cow flew out of the sky and sunk their boat. So, it sounds impossible, sounds bizarre, but it actually happened. What actually happened though was these people had stolen, a group of men had stolen a cargo plane, and it was full of cattle. They didn't realise this at the time, so obviously they didn't want the cattle, and they started systematically throwing the cows out. And one of them just happened to have landed on this guy's boat, and sank them. So that's why the headline, "Fisherman Culled by Flying Fillet." What that reminds me of every time I think about it is there's an exception to every rule. So just because a couple of people weren't happy with something or didn't like how you were doing something doesn't mean it's wrong. You have to look at the big picture and think to yourself, okay, what really is the truth of this? And maybe you just need to do a bit more investigation. Did it work? Did it actually get some activity? Did it get some people doing things and calling you for business? If it did, then great. But anyway, give me some examples that you have of things like that. But I just think it's bizarre sometimes our thinking can be so distorted by things that aren't necessarily true. All right, anyway, it's always midnight and it's sweeter after difficulties. Have a great weekend and I hope you make a lot of sales, guys. See ya.